Good afternoon. We're still working with linear equations and graphs today. We are asynchronous again because it's election day and actually the entire city is asynchronous today. So I'm going to, as usual, make a video of the first example to show you, and then you'll complete the second example on your own. So again, take notes in your notebook if you need to, so you can refer to it when you're answering the independent question. And of course, pause the video and go back, look at whatever parts of the video you need to look at on your own. So here we have the aim. So you can copy that in your notebook. How can we apply linear equations to real life situations? So this is actually my favorite part of algebra when we're working with real life situations, so we could see how where these functions came from. They're all based on something, some problem a mathematician faced, some real world situation. So here we have a graph that shows the cost, which is C, of renting a concert hall for T hours. So I know some of you are inspiring musicians, so this might be something you would need to look at in the future. So we have the graph, and it's asking us to write the equation. So as we know, the formula for a equation of a line is y equals mx plus b, where b is the y-intercept and m is the slope. So we actually have the y-intercept right here. So on the side over here, I'm just going to write b equals 100. And we have to find m. So these are the two formulas we need. To find m, we'll do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we can use the y-intercept as 1 point because we have that. And there's actually only 2 clear cut points on this graph. The rest of them cut, weirdly through the graph. So I'm going to use obviously easier points so that I don't have to suffer. So I'm going to have my first point is 0, right on the x-axis, 100. And then the second point I'm going to use is here, so it's 8 on the x-axis and 600 for y. So y2 always have to color code and label. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So m equals 600 minus 100 is 500, and 8 minus 0 is 8. Let's see if this can, I know it can be simplified, I'm sure. So if we divide it by, let's see. So interesting enough, I would think 2, because if we simplify it by 2, then that would be 250, right? Because 500 divided by 2 is 250 over 4. But that could actually be simplified even further. So I'm going to simplify it by 4. So 500 divided by 4 is actually 125, and then 8 divided by 4 is 2. And that is as simple as it gets. So our slope is 125 over 2. So let's look again at our equation of a line. Y equals mx plus b. So I'm doing my color coding magic here. I'm going to take my slope and put it here. 125, oh, I need more room than that. 125 over 2. And then I'm going to take my slope, my y-intercept, and put it there. So that's my equation of the line. Now we have some questions to really get you thinking about what this all means and why do we care. So explain why the y-intercept what the y-intercept means in the concept of the problem. So let's see, on x it's 0, which is time in hours. So they're measuring the time in hours. So 0 hours costs $100. So that would be what we call like a flat rate. Like no matter how much time you rent the hall for, you have to pay $100. So this actually applies to my real life. I'm getting married, so there's a flat rate for the venue of $750. So no matter how many people I have, no matter how long we're there, I have to pay $750. So in this instance with the concert hall, it's the flat rate. Well, we can say it is the starting price for renting the concert hall. So it says explain what the slope means in the concept of the problem. So the slope is 125 over 2. So what does that mean? Rise over run is another way of talking about slope, right? So the rise would be rising on the x-axis, and the run would be running across the x-axis. So I'm going to say that it is and whenever we have this sign, so let's say, okay, what is the y equal? Cost. What is the x equal? Hours. And whenever we have this sign here, we can, in words, we can say per. So it's also like a ratio, right? Because it's a fraction. So cost per hour. It represents the cost per hour for the hall. So this is a pretty simple question. We already looked. How much does it cost to rent the hall for 8 hours? You have to use the right units of measurement, right? $600. So the next question's easier than that, but you're going to have to do it on your own, so that's why it's a little easier. So refer back to any point of the video you need. If you need help with this, go back and look at it, and I think you'll do just fine. Of course, if you need any help, just comment on Google Classroom or will be available the first 10 minutes of class.